Hello guys and welcome to Football 360 on your number one sports hub www.ThePapare.com. We'll be looking at the round 3 of the Super 8 encounter of the Dialog Champions League 2015. It was 4 matches: Crystal Palace FC versus Renown, Colombo FC versus Blue Star, Army versus Air Force, and Navy versus Javelin. Firstly, we'll look at Crystal Palace versus Renown, which ended 2-0 in favor of Renown. And the man of the match of that was Onana Franklin. But firstly, we'll look at how they played. Renown continuing their dream run in the Super 8 encounter. Now have won 3 encounters, and they've been really good, especially their slick passing, which is their main characteristic, because from the midfield to their attackers, especially Fazul, Mohamed Rifnaz, Ujin Kea, and especially Onana Franklin have been really good. Their one-touch passing has been exceptional, with Ujin Kea and Rifnaz scoring. And Renowned defense is also solid, with the likes of Francis Agbeti and Hakim Kamil, their captain, and they are solid in their defense as well. But talking about Crystal Palace, they are plagued with injuries, some suspensions, but all in all, they've done really well to come out of the group stage and into the Super 8, and they've done really well. Now, talking about the next match, it was a night match on that day after some of the matches were postponed due to bad weather. It was Colombo FC versus Blue Star, and the man of the match of it was Naziro Paymi. This is a newly building rivalry, Colombo FC versus Blue Star. They've met quite a few times in the Dialog Champions League as well as in the FA Cup final. They've met 3 times in the last few weeks, actually. And they also met in the first day of the Dialog Champions League, which Colombo FC won 2-0. And also, this is once again a reunion between Ramiz and Blue Star. Ramiz played for Blue Star for 17 long years, and he switched clubs to Colombo FC. That was a telling factor. But Blue Star, who only conceded 3 goals in the group stages, have conceded 6 goals in just 2 matches. So they needed to strengthen their defense, which they did. But in the second half, it was heated affair with some questionable refereeing decisions, especially Hiran Udayakanta, who was the referee. He is an Army player, Army man actually, and since Army and Colombo FC are fighting for the championship, there is some uncharacteristic display by him, because one would have thought he was a bit biased towards, and some of the decisions were questionable, but nonetheless, it ended 0-0 with Ramiz getting a questionable red card as well. So that was a telling factor, with a few yellow cards not given, a few red cards may or may not have given. So it ended 0-0. And looking back at the next match, it was Army versus Air Force, which ended 1-1, and the man of the match of that was Kamidu Ishan. These 2 sides also met in the group stages, which Air Force won 2-1, and Army haven't won against Air Force for quite some time, because in the 2013 Dialog Champions League quarterfinal, they lost 2-1, and again, it was a 2-1 defeat in the 2014 encounter, and 2015, the group stage, as I was saying, and again, once again, a 2-1 defeat for Army. And it was Kamidu Ishan's beautiful volley that set up Dilshan Sumedh for the first goal, and soon after, within minutes, it was Suraj Bernard who equalized after a defensive mix-up. It was an entertaining battle nonetheless, end-to-end in the second half, because these 2 sides are one of the fittest sides in the Dialog Champions League, the 2 forces, and you expect that from them. But Army were unable to convert more chances which they had in the second half, and which has plagued them throughout these Super 8 encounters, with 3 of their strikers in national duty and not being able to practice with the Army team, especially Punsara Tiruna, Chamira Mendes, and Mohammad Izzeddin. They haven't converted the chances, even though Sankadanshke has been exceptional throughout this season. and one would have thought he should be in the national pool. Then going back into the next match, it was Navy versus Javelin, Navy winning 2-1. And the man of the match was Christine Fernando, their captain, who was put into midfield and has settled down that midfield position. And it was a big game for Javelin as well defensively, because they've conceded 8 goals in the first 2 Super 8 encounters and they needed a win. And they made a tactical move in bringing in Madhava Ruwansiri as a defensive midfielder, just in between the midfield and the defense, which worked for them, and it just stabilized the defense. And Rizkan Faiza up front with the 2 wingers in Afam Akram and Mohammad Abdullah. They were good. They linked up really well. And since Harshana Malaka Pereira was in the bench, that was a tactical move as well. He was not playing that well. And it was 2 brilliant saves from Reginald and Dhammika Senarath in the early going. That kept the scores at 0-0, but a horrible and awkward goal actually, which came off the boot of Krishant Pereira. It just looped over from the right-hand side over the keeper and just crashed onto the bottom of the far post. But even going down 1-0, it was Javelin who played well. Defensively, as I said, they were strong, and in the second half, it was Mohammad Rizkan's brilliant effort from outside the box, from his left foot, that equalized the scores. But towards the end, in the 82nd minute, it was a defensive error, a mistake by Dhammika Senarath. He spilled the ball and let in Christine Fernando set up Subhash Madhushan for that second goal. And towards the end, in the last dying stages, Afam Akram had an opportunity, hit the crossbar. One would have thought he could have made it in and to equalize 2-2. But it all ended 2-1 in favor of Navy. And looking back at the points table, it's Colombo FC who is leading, 2 wins and 1 draw. And with that bonus point, they are on 10 points. Army also on 10 points, but the goal difference being the key. Colombo FC with +6 and Army +4. And Renown hot on their heels, having won all 3 of their matches. And even though the only telling factor is that they finished 4th in their group, and hence because of that they didn't get that bonus point. They are still on 9 points, and Navy with a chance to fight for the title on 7 points. Those 2 are the contenders for the Dialog Champions League, because Blue Star, Air Force, Crystal Palace and Javelin are way behind. Blue Star, Air Force on 3 points, Crystal Palace 2 points, and Javelin on just 1 point. The round 3 matches are ongoing, so we'll let you know about the round 5 fixtures. It's Army SC versus Navy SC on the 28th of November at the Sugatadasa Stadium. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. Crystal Palace versus Blue Star, 28th of November at 5 p.m. And 29th of November, it's Air Force versus Javelin. Again, a 3 p.m. kickoff. And Renown versus Colombo FC on the 29th, the 5 p.m. kickoff. So that's it from Football 360. Do join us again for the round 4 review. For ThePapare.com, I'm Navod Vijay Vikrama, sharing the passion.